Well, summertime has finally come to Northeast Ohio, and we are in the second Torah portion of the book of Bamidbar, the book which in Hebrew means in the wilderness, the story of most of the 40 years, actually the middle 36 years or so, of the wanderings of the Hebrews on their way from the Exodus through Sinai to the Promised Land. This week's Torah portion's name, Nasso, means to lift up. It's related to the word nisuin, which we used for meaning a marriage ceremony, where in the old sexist days the groom lifted up or carried away the bride. A masit can be a vehicle that carries a load. We've got all kinds of uses for that term. Esainai el ha'arim is from the same root in Hebrew. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. And so this business of lifting up in biblical Hebrew has to do with more than just physically picking up a package or lifting dumbbells or weights in the gym. It has to do with uplifting people, being uplifted in God's presence, all these sorts of things. And it starts out with our leaders being told the assignments of the different families within the tribe of Levi. Now, the Levites were a tribe, as we all know, that was set aside for God's service. 4 families in the tribe of Levi. One of them became the Kohanim, the descendants of Aaron, and the rest were served as Levites. And so we're told in this Torah portion that Moses is to lift them up and to count them. And to give each of those 3 families that are the Levites their assignments, and to enumerate and to point out to them that they will be working for 20 years, from age 30 to age 50. Even then, they had some kind of a retirement plan for people who serve the community. And at the end of the book, we have the Nisiim, what we think were kind of the secular leaders of the people, who were bringing gifts, not to make themselves Levites, but were bringing gifts to this newly erected tabernacle, so that this new center of communal life, which eventually became the permanent temple in Jerusalem, would have the equipment that it needed and the wherewithal to perform its functions as being a center of life of the camp and as a spiritual focal point for the Hebrews as they traveled through the wilderness. Now, if you look at the arc of the Torah portion, what we see is that we now have these different families, disparate tribes, all being brought together around the purpose of building the tabernacle. Now, they had contributed previously, but at this point, they're all really demonstrating their loyalty to each other, and their loyalty to God, and their loyalty, if you will, to the concept of the people of Israel. And in doing that, they are Nasso. They are lifting each other up to a higher level. It's not the leaders having to lift up the people. It's not the people having to lift up the leaders. But it is both together, working in partnership, that make this new corporate entity of the household of Israel a reality and a functioning community of people that exists, certainly in radically different form, but exists, yea, verily, unto this day. I think this Torah portion has a lot to say to us about the operation of our synagogues, of the Jewish community, and it has a lot to say to us about democracy in general. Democracy is supposed to be like this Torah portion, where leaders and led lift each other up, where the conversation is about what one can contribute, not what one should take away, where the goal is to include as many different people as possible, not to exclude any particular group because their thinking is a little bit different, or perhaps even the color of their skin is somewhat variegated. This is the importance of Nasso, to show that even though no political system is or can be perfect, we have this beautiful biblical example of a community which is not utopian, but wherein everyone, leader and led, lift each other up to higher levels of accomplishment, both as individuals and as a people. Have a great week, and Shabbat Shalom.